I, I shit you not. I watched this video 2 days ago, and it was literally Obama forgetting to salute a soldier, and it had 11.5 million views, and it was like 1 minute long. And it's just from 8 years ago. I'm like, why
There's
is this
so much shit that pops up, and you're like, why is YouTube recommending this to me?
I know,
I
dude.
don't get it.
And like, not even just talk about YouTube, but like just like stuff on TikTok too, man. Like things just like blow up out of nowhere.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's crazy how like and a lot of those platforms, like when you get that exposure, I think it's also up to the individual to like try and monetize it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously for that guy, like it was different. Like he wasn't going in for this purpose to like monetize it.
Yeah.
But it just kind of like happened through that opportunity of just doing that.
It's crazy how like you just do something and it can turn into like a business or things. I feel like some of the best shit that I've seen is people that happens to. Where
Yeah.
They just start putting out there whatever they're doing, and it's just like boom, all of a sudden.
You can literally put out anything, like shout out OnlyFans, but like you can literally put out any. We've talked about that so much,
Mm-hmm.
but like yeah, it's insane, man. Like, and that's one of the things that I think, in my personal opinion, like you can really do like anything nowadays and make it some type of a career, whether if that's podcasting like us,
Yeah.
or like even just taking pictures, photography, or like anything, man, selling bracelets. Like I think that's one of the things that like, and especially in like in our generation period, like our millennials, I guess to say, suiting for this podcast. But like, I think a lot of like people our age often have a trouble of like figuring out what they want to do. That's why a lot of like, at least our friends, like they're stuck in like school. Like I literally have two buddies of mine that like graduated from business, and they're like, that was the most pointless 5 years of my life, you know? And it's just, that's why I almost have like some type of like empathy or like sympathy for like people that like go to school and then they get out of it and they're like, I don't have a job. You know what I mean? Whereas like there's people that are a little bit more fortunate than us that like just stumble upon these things that like we love to do, and there is some type of compensation for it. Like I always appreciate what Nick does, because he actually works. And actually, you tell them something.
So instead of Calvin,
instead of me,
I'm gonna tell you all about Nick.
I'm getting better. I'm working on it. I'm getting better day
He
by
caught
day.
himself there at least. Anyway, so I'm a behavioral interventionist.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So basically, what I do is I work with and take care of people that have autism for the most part. So that's something that I've gotten into just over the past year and a half. Beforehand, I was doing like odd jobs here and there. Like I was working in a factory. I worked doing HVAC or hydrovac. Working on a truck.
like a vac truck.
Dude. Working alongside construction workers and stuff like that. So and then I did sales and whatnot. Calvin and I worked together at Popeyes selling supplements for
all
years
the OGs that know.
So there's been like a lot of stuff that I've just kind of stumbled upon here and there, just done jobs as I've gone, and never really sticking with anything. I've just been a nomad in the career department. So finally stumbling upon working with people in this aspect has been like a complete game changer for me, because I've always been the type of person where it's not that I don't like taking rules from other people, but I like kind of working a little bit more independently. I don't like, the typical kind of like 9 to 5 setup where you're, clocking in, clocking out, show up, doing the same shit day in, day out. I can't do that. So like where I work, it's, yes, you're structured to, pretty much the same types of shifts, but you're basically going there to hang out and just make sure somebody's quality of life is better than it was the day before, or is better than it has been in years prior. So it's like that whole dynamic for me has just been like, it's changed so much of my own personal life, as well as just like the direction of where I want to take my life, and given me so much appreciation for stuff that a lot of us take for granted, right? Just like simple stuff, like, like just knowing that I can go outside, I can go for a run, I can go up to the store with, with nothing holding me back. None of my, my behaviors are, taking me to a point where I need somebody to look after me. Right. So, it's been an amazing time getting into this line of work, and obviously being able to work through COVID. That's been another huge thing too, being, in a care worker, type of career path. I haven't had to worry about, being out of a job. So that's also been another huge thing for me.
One thing that like connects me and Nick really well on the aspect and how I can see it through his lens too is like my brother is also autistic, and funny enough, Nick has actually worked in the same like housing that my brother lives in as well. So like all the like kind of aspects that he's kind of like I guess learned from himself, like seeing because like you work very closely with autistic people, right? So you're pretty much like, would you say that you're like you're their hands and legs essentially to a point?
Not necessarily. I'd just say I'm more or less a moderator. So like I'm there to make sure that you're using your hands and legs effectively.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just steering you in the right direction.
Exactly.
I'm not taking over anything.
Yeah, of course. You're not just like
more like a guide.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the guide, right? So I'm just making sure that all right, when we're going out in the community, like we're cool. Like we're not getting into trouble. We're not hurting ourselves. We're not hurting other people. We're safe. We're having a good time, right?